Have you ever felt like your mind works differently? Like you don't quite fit into the mold that society expects? Maybe you've been called too much, too intense, or just different. But what if that difference was actually your greatest strength? The Sigma female isn't just independent. She's wired differently. She doesn't conform to social norms. She thrives in solitude, and she processes the world in ways that others might not understand. But what if these traits weren't just personality quirks? What if they were signs of neurodivergence, proof that her mind operates on a whole other level? Today, we're diving deep into 10 reasons why the Sigma female isn't just unique, she's neurodivergent. And more importantly, we'll explore why this isn't a weakness, but a superpower that sets her apart from the rest. Let's get into it. Number 1. She rejects labels and boxes. Society loves to put people into categories: introvert or extrovert, leader or follower, normal or different. But the Sigma female refuses to be boxed in. She doesn't subscribe to the idea that she has to fit neatly into one label or another. To her, identity is fluid, complex, and ever-evolving. This mindset isn't just about independence. It's a common trait among neurodivergent individuals. Many people who think differently struggle with rigid definitions that don't fully capture their unique way of seeing the world. While society tells her she should be one thing or another, she knows that life isn't that simple. She embraces contradictions, understands nuance, and refuses to let outdated labels define her. This can make her misunderstood. People may try to push her into a role that doesn't fit, or assume she's difficult because she won't conform. But she sees the truth. Labels may make life easier for others, but they don't define her reality. Instead of trying to fit into a world that wasn't built for her, she creates her own. And that's exactly what makes her so powerful. Number 2. Her emotions are deep and intense. For the Sigma female, emotions aren't just feelings, they're full-body experiences. When she's happy, it's like electricity running through her veins. When she's sad, it's a storm she has to weather. She doesn't just feel, she feels in high definition, experiencing emotions with an intensity that others might not understand. This depth is often linked to neurodivergence. Many neurodivergent individuals have heightened sensitivity to emotions and sensory input, making every experience more vivid. A simple song can move her to tears. A minor injustice can feel like a personal wound, and a deep conversation can leave her thinking for days. While this makes her an incredibly empathetic and intuitive person, it also comes with challenges. Because she absorbs so much energy from the world around her, social interactions can be draining. She might need extra time alone to recharge, even if she loves connecting with others. Sometimes, her emotions can feel overwhelming, like they're too big for her body. But rather than seeing this as a weakness, she recognizes it as one of her greatest strengths. Her ability to feel deeply allows her to understand people on a level that few can. It makes her a powerful force in any space she enters, whether she's comforting a friend, standing up for what she believes in, or creating something meaningful from her experiences. Number 3. She can't ignore injustice. From a young age, the Sigma female has felt a deep, unshakable pull toward fairness. She doesn't just dislike injustice, she feels it, as if it's happening to her personally. Whether it's a stranger being mistreated, a corrupt system at play, or even a small moment of dishonesty, she struggles to look the other way. This intense moral compass is a common trait among neurodivergent individuals. Many of them have a black and white sense of right and wrong, making it difficult to accept the gray areas that society often tolerates. The Sigma female doesn't believe in going along with something just because that's the way it is. If something feels wrong, she speaks up, even if it makes her the odd one out. But standing against injustice isn't easy. It can be exhausting to constantly fight against systems that seem too big to change. Sometimes, she wonders if it would be simpler to stay quiet, to blend in. But that's not who she is. She has to speak up, because her mind and heart won't let her do anything else. And while this trait may make life more challenging, it's also what makes her a leader, an advocate, and a force for change. Number 4. She breaks generational curses. The Sigma female is the one who sees the cracks in the foundation of her family's traditions, the unspoken rules, the toxic cycles, the harmful patterns that have been passed down for generations. While others may accept these things as just the way it is, she refuses to follow a path that doesn't align with her truth. She questions everything, even when it makes others uncomfortable. Many neurodivergent individuals share this ability to see beyond what's normal and challenge it. Where others may feel pressure to conform, she feels a deep need to break free. She won't stay silent about unhealthy family dynamics, outdated beliefs, or limiting expectations. If something doesn't make sense or feels wrong, she won't just go along with it. She will rewrite the script, even if she has to do it alone. Being the cycle breaker isn't easy. It often means facing resistance from those who don't understand why she won't just go with the flow. It can be isolating, even painful. But she knows that the work she's doing, choosing growth over comfort, change over tradition, isn't just for her. It's for future generations, for the people who come after her, who will no longer have to carry the weight of the past. She is proof that transformation is possible. Number 5. Her passions border on obsession. When a Sigma female finds something that sparks her curiosity, she doesn't just like it. She dives into it head first. What others may see as just a hobby becomes an all-consuming passion. She'll research for hours, lose track of time, and perfect her craft until she knows it inside and out. To some, this might seem excessive, even obsessive, but to her, it's simply how she's wired. This kind of deep focus is common in neurodivergent minds. While others may dabble in interests here and there, she immerses herself completely. It's not just about knowing something, it's about mastering it. Whether it's art, psychology, technology, or an obscure topic that no one else understands, she becomes an expert in ways that surprise even herself. Of course, this intensity comes with challenges. When she's locked into something she loves, it's hard to pull away, even for basic needs like food and sleep. And when people don't share her enthusiasm, it can feel isolating. But what the world often misunderstands is that this isn't just a quirk, it's her superpower. Her ability to hyper-focus gives her an edge, allowing her to create, innovate, and achieve things that others wouldn't have the patience or depth to pursue. Number 6. She sees systems, not just rules. Most people accept rules at face value, following them simply because that's just how it is. But not the Sigma female. She doesn't just see a rule, she sees the entire system behind it. She instinctively dissects structures, questioning why things are done a certain way and whether there's a better alternative. To her, inefficiencies and contradictions stand out like flashing neon signs, and she can't ignore them. This deep analytical thinking is a hallmark of many neurodivergent minds. Whether it's workplace policies, social norms, or even family traditions, she pieces together patterns that others overlook. She understands that rules aren't always created for fairness or logic. Sometimes, they're relics of outdated thinking or power dynamics that no longer serve people. And when she sees something broken, she doesn't just complain, she strategizes ways to fix it. This mindset makes her a natural problem solver, innovator, and disruptor. While others might resist change, she embraces it, always searching for ways to refine, optimize, and improve. Of course, this can sometimes make her a challenge to authority figures who prefer obedience over insight. But that's never stopped her before. If the system doesn't make sense, she'll find a way to rewrite it. Number 7. She thrives in contradictions. Most people like to put things into neat little categories. Either you're independent or you crave connection, logical or emotional, a dreamer or a realist. But the Sigma female? She's all of the above. She walks the fine line between opposites, thriving in the contradictions that confuse others. She fiercely protects her independence, refusing to be controlled or confined. Yet, at the same time, her emotions run deep. She can be logical and calculated, making decisions with precision. But she also feels things intensely, absorbing the energy of those around her. One moment, she's lost in her imagination, dreaming up possibilities that seem impossible. The next, she's grounded in cold, hard reality, figuring out how to make those dreams happen. This ability to hold multiple truths at once is a trait often found in neurodivergent minds. She doesn't see life in black and white. She sees the shades of gray, the nuances, the complexity. And rather than being overwhelmed by it, she embraces it. It's why she can adapt to different situations, understand different perspectives, and think in ways that others don't. Her contradictions don't make her inconsistent. They make her dynamic. Number 8. Her independence comes from an unconventional brain. From a young age, the Sigma female learned that she couldn't rely on the approval of others to define her worth. While many people crave validation, likes, praise, acceptance, she never felt the same pull. Not because she didn't care, but because she understood early on that the world doesn't always reward those who think differently. Instead of molding herself to fit in, she built her own path. Her self-sufficiency isn't just a personality trait, it's a survival mechanism. She has faced situations where she had to rely on her instincts rather than the advice of the crowd. While others follow trends or societal norms without question, she questions everything. Why do we do things this way? Is this actually the best choice? And when the answers don't make sense, she isn't afraid to walk alone. Many neurodivergent people develop unique ways to navigate the world, whether it's through intense focus, deep introspection, or a refusal to conform to expectations that don't serve them. The Sigma female's independence isn't rebellion for rebellion's sake. It's the natural result of a mind that sees things differently, thinks ahead, and refuses to compromise on what truly matters. Number 9. She overanalyzes everything. A simple conversation is never just a simple conversation for the Sigma female. Long after it ends, she replays it in her mind, dissecting every word, every pause, every shift in tone. Did that person really mean what they said? Was there an unspoken message in their body language? Did she say too much or not enough? To others, this might look like overthinking, but in reality, it's deep perception at work. She notices things most people overlook: a fleeting expression, a hesitation before an answer, a slight change in energy. These details hold meaning, and her brain automatically sorts through them, searching for patterns. This ability makes her incredibly intuitive. able to sense when something is off before anyone else does. But it also means she carries the weight of understanding things on a level others don't. This heightened awareness is common among neurodivergent individuals. While society may tell her to just let things go, her mind doesn't work that way. She's wired to analyze, to seek truth, and to understand people beyond surface-level interactions. What seems like an exhausting habit to others is actually one of her greatest strengths. It allows her to navigate the world with precision, insight, and an unmatched depth of understanding. Number 10. She refuses to follow social templates. From an early age, the Sigma female noticed something strange. While everyone else seemed to instinctively follow unspoken social rules, she couldn't help but question them. Why do people say one thing but mean another? Why is success measured by a checklist of milestones instead of personal fulfillment? Why does fitting in matter more than authenticity? These weren't just passing thoughts. They were fundamental questions that shaped the way she moved through the world. Most people accept societal expectations without hesitation. They follow the scripts, get the degree, climb the corporate ladder, settle down at the right time. But the Sigma female? She sees these as guidelines, not rules. If something doesn't align with her truth, she won't force herself to conform. She'd rather carve out her own path, even if it means walking alone. This resistance to blind conformity is a trait many neurodivergent individuals share. Their brains naturally challenge systems and patterns that don't make sense, pushing them to break free from outdated traditions. While some may view her as rebellious or difficult, she's simply unwilling to live life on autopilot. Instead of asking, "What's expected of me?" she asks, "What actually makes sense?" And in doing so, she redefines success, happiness, and fulfillment on her own terms. The Sigma female doesn't just think differently, she is different. And that difference is her power. From questioning societal norms to breaking generational cycles, from feeling emotions intensely to hyper-focusing on her passions, every aspect of her neurodivergence shapes her into a force that refuses to be ignored. What others see as contradictions or challenges are actually the very things that make her extraordinary. If you resonated with this, know that you're not alone. You're not too much, and you're not broken. The way your mind works isn't a flaw, it's a strength. You were never meant to fit into a mold that wasn't designed for you in the first place. Instead, you were meant to reshape the world in a way that only someone like you can. So keep questioning, keep challenging, and keep being exactly who you are. Because the ones who don't fit into the world weren't meant to. They were born to change it.